Okay, a tour of what's new in the garden. It's pretty much the end of May, so just a quick panorama here. Um, you can see the crabapple is in bloom. Um, Over here, so these are the yew trees that I planted a couple of years ago. They're coming along quite well. This is one of the new beds. Some coral bells, some lungwort. These are stilbees, and this hydrangea I planted last fall, I think. And it should grow tall enough to sort of hide the uh, heat pump there. Uh, Over here in this corner, the hostas there have been there a while, but just trying to create a woodland garden type thing. So you can see there's a bleeding heart that is blooming. There are some lilies of the valley in front, some astilbes in behind, and the Solomon seal. Only one of the three seems to have made it. There's another one that's trying back there, but this one is doing pretty well, and it's actually got little white blooms there. So that's what's going on there. I may plant a couple more things just to fill that out a bit. We'll see. Over here, so this is what I planted last year. It's coming along quite well. The pink stuff is creeping phlox, and it's yeah, I've had to pull it back a bit already because it will take over and smother some of these other things. So I've had to be careful for that. Trying to remember what these are that are about to bloom. I don't remember. Yeah, I'd need to look it up. You can see these are a bunch of bulbs here that I planted last fall. They're alliums, wild onions, so they'll eventually at the top of each stalk there'll be one ball that opens, and they're like pink or white. That's pretty much all that's going on in here. You can see that allium is pretty tall there, right there, going all the way down. Yeah, there are some, I didn't plant these, but right here is a couple of poppy plant. Oh, there it is. A couple of poppy plants, which were just sort of, I guess the seeds were left over from when I dug up this bed. So it's kind of nice that they came back. So they'll reseed and kind of spread. They bloom in early June and then they die back completely for the rest of the summer. Here's a close-up of one of those alliums I was talking about. Is just starting to open now. There's the false indigo back there in the corner. It'll get quite tall. It's growing pretty quickly. I think 2 weeks ago it was barely poking out of the ground. So back out here, and around here. This is the cherry tree we planted a few years ago for Ora, Maddie, and Cooper's ashes. Don't know if it'll bloom this year. It might, and in which case we might get some cherries, but usually it takes a couple years for those to produce fruit, so we'll see. Along here, this one with the purple flowers, it turns out this is an evergreen. I forget what the plant is called, but these plants here, they were green all winter, even under the snow, and it's been blooming since early May, if not late April. I thought it was done, but apparently not. Right here is a hibiscus. The one that I had planted here last year I didn't think made through the winter, so this is actually a different one. same type of plant, but a different plant. Um, More alliums, and yeah, so all this was planted last year. Really, this is another new bed here under the grapevine and gazebo. Got a bench there with some stepping stones. In the back is Asclepias, or what is it? I forget the common name, but it's the only plant. It's the only plant that the monarch butterfly will lay its eggs on. Um, so figured I'd plant some of those, and flowers are nice too. Um, and then down in the front, some sedum right there. I tried to replant some of that creeping phlox because I had to rip some up, but I don't think it's going to take very well, so that's all right. It was just figured I'd give it a shot. That bench, we've had a lot of hummingbirds already. We've had this out for about a week, and yeah, they come daily. We've refilled it a couple times already. I'll do something along here. I don't know what yet. And over here, rhubarb, we've already had at least one harvest, maybe two. And then just some daylilies and peonies. And somehow, I didn't plant these alliums here, but somebody decided to transplant. There's one there and one back there. I'm assuming a squirrel is responsible for that. Got a couple of these bee hotels. There's one here and one down by the cherry tree at the end. Apparently, the vast majority of native bees in North America are solitary, so they live in the little holes there. They don't live in big hives like honeybees do. Honeybees aren't native to North America at all anyway. So this is to make sure that they have a place to live. So I think the bees we get around here are leaf cutter and mason bees. That's about it. This hydrangea I don't think is going to stay much longer. When I planted it, this maple tree wasn't nearly as big, but now it's not getting enough sun under here, so I'll have to get something shade loving. The primrose seems to be doing okay. It's a little thin toward the back, but it usually fills in through the summer, so this, it's still pretty early in the season. And that's about it. We'll put the pool up at some point. Probably would have put it up by now, but we're in Toronto next week, so we'll probably do it when we get back. That is it.